The man tore off the bandage to reveal the gun. Suddenly, a killer took down the man's target. Chaos instantly erupted at the scene. The man spotted the killer and gave chase. The killer deftly dodged all of the man's bullets. The killer was about to strike back. Police cars suddenly surrounded them. The killer surrendered without hesitation. He was escorted away by the police. Suddenly, he turned back and flashed a triumphant smile at the man. The man realized something was wrong and immediately drove after him. Meanwhile, the killer had quietly slipped out of his handcuffs. He kicked the window in and grabbed the steering wheel from the officer. The police car spun out of control and rolled over. By the time the man arrived at the scene, the killer had already vanished. But the man guessed that the killer would surely head to the airport, so he hired a taxi and posed as the driver. Soon the hitman got into the car. The man drove the car onto a secluded side road. The killer saw the shredded driver's license and realized he had fallen into a trap. Both men drew their guns. A bulletproof partition separated them. Suddenly, the killer aimed his gun at a nearby soccer field. Then he took aim at a player to threaten the man. The man had no choice but to keep driving. At that moment, the killer smashed the window, attempting to escape. The man's car was driving right behind the bus. The killer seized the opportunity and leaped out of the car. Their actions had also attracted a large police presence, so the man drove the car to the taxi headquarters. He then got into another taxi as a passenger and left. The man returned home to investigate the assassin's identity. Then he received another urgent assignment to assassinate a woman codenamed Cat's Eye. The man arrived at the hotel where his target was staying. However, the assassin had also arrived at the hotel. The woman heard gunshots and immediately stopped the file transfer. But the moment she opened the door, the man grabbed her. The man also realized the assassin's intentions. He had to complete the mission first, but the target was simply too beautiful. He couldn't pull the trigger. So he drove away with the woman from the garage. The woman pretended to be compliant, then deliberately parked the car next to a fence. The man was trapped. The woman seized the opportunity to make a quick escape, but she dropped the bag containing the cat. Seeing the man chasing after her, she had no choice but to give up. The man picked up the cat carrier and found a bag from a pet store inside. He went to the pet store and successfully managed to find out the woman's home address. The man immediately went to the woman's home, but he discovered that the assassin had also tracked her down. He told the woman to leave first, while he stayed behind to take care of the assassin. The two immediately engaged in a fierce gunfight. They were locked in a stalemate, each waiting for the other to make the first move. Suddenly, the man disconnected the natural gas line and poured alcohol on the floor. Then he set the alcohol ablaze. Seeing the flames, the assassin tried to use a table as cover, but the violent explosion still sent him flying, and he crashed to the ground. The man tried to step forward for a finishing shot, but the assassin had vanished. It turned out the woman had a disc containing top-secret documents. The two decided to sell it to the assassin organization for $2 million. The man arrived at the drop-off point and handed the disc to the contact. The woman rushed over to pick him up. The operation went off without a hitch. Suddenly, the man heard a noise coming from the box. He immediately tossed the box into a trash can and quickly made his escape. The very next second, the box exploded.